All
Ever since I saw
right.
that, ever since I saw
Okay.
that show, I've been looking. Ever since I saw that show, I've been looking for coins with a C on it.
I know that's right. Thank you, Dr. Glenn. All right, guys. Welcome back to Awesome Radio 107.5 FM. And
1570 AM and W298BX 107.5 FM, Winterville, North Carolina.
all right, welcome back. Been having a good time here with the guests. Welcome back to Awesome Radio 107.5 FM and 1570 AM WECU, and every Tuesday from 2 to 3 p.m. for Let's Talk K-12 Education. I'm the host. For the next 50 minutes, Tonitia Langley. I'm an education enthusiast, thought leader, and founder of Enrichment Strategist Services, LLC, an education consulting business. Connect with me by Linktree Enrichment Strategist. I'm excited to partner with you and be dedicated to the heart of our community, education. I'm the host, but you and the community mean the most. I would love for you to share your suggestions of what you would love to get more information related to K-12 education. If you've got something, don't hesitate. Please email us at let's talk K-12 education at gmail.com. Again, I'm the show, but you and the community mean the most. I'm the show host. So email me at let's talk K-12 education at gmail.com. All right, going to open up our show today with a Beyond the Classroom Career and College Readiness Icebreaker. Imagine it's the year 2040. The students currently in K-12 education have graduated and are now leaders in various industries. What skills do you think will define their success? And how do you believe our current education system is preparing or not preparing them for the future? So I'm going to open it up there to my guests. Come on, chime on in for a few minutes before we get started with the show. Dr. Glenn, what you think about that? I'm going to start with you because you are very seasoned and well versed. What do you think about that? How do you think? Do you believe that our current education system is preparing or not preparing them for the year 2040?
Looking at a document right now, it says every year in the United States, numerous college students discover that despite being fully eligible to attend college, they're not ready for post secondary studies. Millions of dollars are spent on re- remediation courses, coursework classes that are not credit bearing, but the cost is the same.
Mm, mm, mm.
Isn't that something?
It is, and I just read an article, and Lord, Crystal, you like one of the youngest ones, but Gen Z. I want to say it's the Gen Z crowd. They are getting fired in astronomical numbers. I'm probably going to do some information on that. But what do you guys think, Tish and Crystal? Do you want to add to that icebreaker? How you think, either personally or professionally, when you look around, that what are we doing how are we doing as far as getting our kids ready for 2040 with those skills that they need? What do you think?
I I would say um, communication,
Mm-hmm.
effective communication, written and in person.
Hmm.
And then I would also add financial literacy to that.
Ooh.
I'm going to
Ooh.
say those two are, in my opinion, highly important for
Mm-hmm.
the Gen X, the folks who are the Gen Z, excuse me, the younger generations for sure.
Okay.
I think in the workplace, I think they might struggle with sometimes understanding that I'm not texting someone, I'm
Mm.
sending a professional email
Mm-hmm.
to a customer, to an employee, to a coworker, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. So it
And
sounds
there
like
is,
we need to
there is a difference.
sharpen up on some soft skills in there. What you think, Chris? You want to add to the discussion before we keep going today?
I totally agree. That's where I was going to come from to the financial literacy, because whether you work or you decide to go directly into an entry level career or you go to college, they're going to have to make decisions about money, and they're not prepared. And not only those decisions, I think mindset, we don't do a lot to address mindset because, again, by them being 18 years old now, they're responsible just like we are, but they're not necessarily even prepared mentally to handle failure, setback, those type of things. And so the way that they pivot is not as impactful. And I think that I think we're having some challenges with that.
Oh, great,
Can
great,
I
great.
jump in real quick, Tanisha, real
Yes,
quickly?
yes,
I promise.
yes.
Just to piggyback off of what Crystal said, I agree 100% with everything she said. I would also like to add that financial literacy also can, if you don't have a grasp on financial literacy, that can impact the type of job opportunities you have in the future. Because if you make all these mistakes and your credit is messed up, there are some jobs that you may apply for and they're going to pull your credit. And guess what? You won't get that job if the credit is messed up.
That's
right.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
I want to mention something that you had mentioned earlier. That is communications. A lot of our students don't effectively communicate because they're not articulative. They want to communicate from the way they talk to their friends and stuff, and you can't do that. We talking to professional people.
Yes.
You have to communicate professional.
Oh, you guys are you know what y'all are. So we're going to get our folks to come to your people because y'all are the AIG group. Okay. So this kind of, we start off, I start off with that icebreaker into what we're going to be discussing today, which is a part 2. And as you can hear, our guests kind of put information out there, some soft skills, communication, financial literacy, and how all these things affect. And hopefully we're able to prepare, give you guys some insight, resources, and tools today around this topic. So on last week's show, we talked about part 1 of Beyond the Classroom College and Career Readiness, and I was in collaboration with fellow Awesome Radio show host Dr. Glenn E. Johnson, DCRC, and we provided tons of information regarding the topic. If you would like a recap, tools, and resources for that show and any other previous Let's Talk K-12 education shows, head on over to Facebook, Awesome Radio 107.5 FM and 1570 AM with the purple and green logo, or head on over to YouTube at Awesome Radio, capital letters WECU, and again, look for that pretty purple and green logo. So being a wife and mother, a former middle school teacher, and a grandmother to 8 school-age G babies, and currently an education consultant and coach, I recognize the importance of the ability to have critical thinking skills, which kind of alludes to my icebreaker, but don't want to get too far into that. So let's open up the show in true educational style with How is Your Brain Game? To get your mindset shifts and engage your critical thinking skills for school, homework, and school tasks with your children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, godchildren, and the whole crew. We're taking callers today at 252-756-2008. If you can guess this brain teaser, again, we're taking callers today at 252-756-2008 for How is Your Brain Game brain teaser. But I don't know, we got the AIG crew here today, so let's see. All right. So here's the riddle. Y'all ready? All right. I don't live in textbooks, but I shape your future. I'm not found in the classroom, but I help you succeed beyond it. What am I? I'll read it one more time. I don't live in textbooks, but I shape your future. I'm not in the classroom, but I help you succeed beyond it. What am I? And I'll give you a hint. It's with our topic today, Beyond the Classroom, College and Career Readiness. Oh my.
That is a good one.
The AIG team is stunned. Oh
You
no.
got my brain working overtime.
There we go. It's real world skills and experiences that prepare students for college and careers. So real world skills and experiences, what we basically all discussed in the very beginning about those communication skills and, learning how to communicate properly, not text talking when you're talking to your colleagues. So all those real world skills, guys. I always love to. I'm an education enthusiast and thought leader, but I will tell you, we have our work cut out for us today. So I'm hoping that we can prepare our listening audience and our viewers with some information, because this is getting serious. I'm actually going to share that article about Gen Zers, if I'm saying it incorrectly, please correct me, about them getting fired and terminated at alarming rates. But we'll come back to that. So if you have a brain teaser for a How Is Your Brain Game segment and you would like to have them shared on the show, email us at Let's Talk K-12 Education at gmail.com. Again, if you want to have a brain teaser shared on the show for How Is Your Brain Game segment, email us at Let's Talk K-12 Education at gmail.com. So again, I had a listener or viewer share that they listened to the brain teasers for How Is Your Brain Game, and out of all the ones they listened to, they got one of them right. So that is good. So let me introduce to you my awesome and talented guest today. Again, I have repeat guest, fellow Awesome Radio show host, Dr. Glenn Edward Johnson, DCRC. He studied clinical religious counseling at Shepherd's Care Bible College University. Dr. Glenn E. Johnson, DCRC, is recognized worldwide as a clinical religious counselor, being certified by the Executive Board of Directors of Shepherd's Care. He has a bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees in clinical religious counseling, major in clinical religious counseling from Shepherd's Care Bible College in University, Tampa, Florida. He's a radio show host at Awesome Radio, WBIS LP 106.9 FM, Winterville. And he is the radio show host for the Glenn Johnson Motivations with Glenn. Now I'm going to skip a few things because I have got to get to this. It touched my heart and made me want to continue to work with him. Dr. Johnson, believe it or not, as sharp as he is a brain injury survivor. He has a TBI and he advocates for better living. An appointment for the North Carolina's governor's appointment to the Brain Injury Advisory Council, BIAC, in November 17, 2022. A lot of more things I could say about Dr. Johnson, but he is sharp. He is real sharp. It reminds me of my grandmother when she was in her 80s. I mean, she could just remember so many different things and didn't matter. Like she reminded me of stuff. So Dr. Johnson, welcome back for part 2 Beyond the Classroom, College and Career Readiness, and cannot wait to get your insight today. Going to welcome another repeat guest, Tish Williams. She's a business development manager in the Neighborhood and Business Services Department for the City of Greenville. Her background includes various positions held in federal, state, and now local government. In her current role, one of her main goals is to share knowledge with others and be a bridge to connect people with much needed resources to start and or succeed in business. One of her favorite mottos is that she loves to see people win, and I personally know that. She's a mom, a sister, an Army veteran, and self-proclaimed foodie. Tish Williams, welcome back to the Let's Talk K-12 Education Show, and I'm glad that we are in partnership to help you carry out your motto.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Tonitia.
Yes, ma'am. And we have Miss Crystal Wilder. Crystal Wilder is the founder of director of Families United and Protected, Families UP, a 501c3 organization serving DFW, Texas, and Greenville, North Carolina. With a bachelor's degree in social work and a master's in counseling, she is a licensed clinical addiction counselor and master life coach, offering compassionate guidance to individuals on their journeys to recovery and personal growth. Crystal's passion for helping others extends beyond her coaching. She is also an entrepreneur and an Amazon #1 best-selling author, sharing her insights and wisdom to inspire readers to embrace their authenticity and boldly pursue their goals. Through her work, Crystal continues to blaze trails and foster empowerment in every person she touches. Miss Wilder, you don't even look old enough. You look like one of my children. All those credentials. Welcome to the show. I'm excited
Look,
to
that's the
have you
thing.
here today. Yes, ma'am. Excited to have you here today and be a part of this Beyond the Classroom College and Career Readiness discussion. So, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Let's Talk K-12 Education Show. And hopefully, you'll continue to join us on the Awesome Radio family.
Awesome. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we're getting ready to head to break shortly, but before we do, I'm going to recap and review part one and the continuation of part two of Beyond the Classroom, College and Career Readiness. I wanted to provide some education and context regarding in and beyond the classroom for success, as we all just kind of joined in on the conversation about, are our kids ready for 2040? We got our work cut out for us to do. So beyond the classroom, college and career readiness. So last week, part one and part two on Let's Talk K-12 Education with Dr. Johnson. We're going to continue with Dr. Johnson, Tish Williams, and Crystal Wilder Beyond the Classroom, where we will explore the exciting world of college and career readiness and upcoming events. Join us as we delve into the essential steps, resources, and strategies to help students navigate their educational journey and prepare for a successful future. From understanding different pathways to building strong academic foundations, we'll provide valuable insights and guidance for students, parents, and educators alike. So let's embark on this adventure together and unlock the doors to endless possibilities. So, as a former educator and classroom teacher from a traditional public school setting, my goal is to use this platform as an unbiased show to educate and provide information as it pertains to educating our future. That's the goal of the Let's Talk K-12 Education show. To let others know that in the challenging educational landscape, there is a light that pierces the darkness, and there are educators working in the trenches, stakeholders like the ones I have up here, and educational thought leaders like myself partnering to close the gap of the school to prison pipeline with tenacity, grit, and grind, providing hope. So we're going to get into the topic today, and I alluded to it during the How's Your Brain game, the brain teaser. I alluded to it with our icebreaker, and it's regarding real world skills and experiences. This riddle sets us up with the idea that education isn't just about academics, but about the broader skills and experiences students need to succeed in the real world, sparking curiosity about what lies beyond the classroom. So, before we go to break, I want to share from AI University some of the myths to real quick before we head on over. So, myth number 4 is college is too expensive. Reality is there are many financial aid options available, including scholarships, grants, loans, and work study programs. Another myth is college is just about academics. We just dispelled that myth in the very beginning in the discussion with the guests. College is also about personal and professional development, building relationships, and gaining new experiences. That could be some of the reason that some of our students, and I won't call out another, particular set of students, but that may be some of the things that they're struggling with. So another myth is college degree guarantees a job. While a college degree can increase your job prospects, it doesn't guarantee employment. It's important to develop skills, network, and tailor your education to meet the needs of the job market. And another myth is you should choose a major based on what you're good at. The reality is consider your interests and passions when choosing a major, as you'll be more motivated and successful. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll dive deeper into how today's students and their families can be prepared for life beyond the classroom. From college to career readiness, we'll explore what schools, parents, and communities can do to support their future success. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Let's Talk K-12 Education Show on Awesome Radio, WECU 107.5 and 1570 AM, where we make education everyone's business. We will be right back to continue our discussion beyond the classroom, college and career readiness after this short message. So thank you so very much. And we will see you on the other side of this quick station break. Take them on in, Dr. Johnson.
I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening. So please stay tuned because we all together. We are a.
Yeah, we're on station break now.
All right.
Okay. Good job. Cool beans. So real quick, when we come back, Dr. Johnson, we'll go ahead and get to you. So we're off a little taste, but we're good.
Engage with God today at boldstepsminute.org.
Hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Crystal Davis. I am here to invite you to a new show that will be premiering October 5th, 2 p.m. Saturday. It is Ask the Pastor. You can ask questions that have always been on your mind about your Bible and your walk with Jesus. Looking forward to you joining us. Again, that is Saturday, October 5th, 2 p.m.
Looking for a job worth talking about? Teaching is creative, collaborative, and intellectually challenging. See why teachers have better work stories at teachtfw.org and learn more about becoming a teacher. Brought to you by Teach and Center Council.
Hi, my name is Tracy. Thank you for listening to Awesome Radio, 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU.
Okay. All right, so welcome back to Awesome Radio, WECU 107.5 FM and 1570 AM. You can find us here talking about all things education every Tuesday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Let's Talk K-12 Education. So before we went to break, we gave some startling information regarding our students being prepared beyond the classroom, and I shared a few myths and realities. We're going to go ahead and jump right into Dr. Johnson's and let him continue his discussion from the previous show. So, Dr. Johnson, go ahead and shed some insight around the topic, some of what we talked about last time, but then you had a really new hot topic that you want to discuss around beyond the classroom, college and career readiness.
Absolutely. And I would like to begin by saying to our listeners, we all are a movement, but a force when we're all together. So as we come forward to you with our information, Ms. Langley, the other two guests, and myself, we all are just a movement. But if we all collaborate and work together, we are a force. You know, there's different things concerning forces, like the Air Force, the police force. What does that mean? When you collaborate together, you get more things accomplished. So I like to pick back up from something that Ms. Tish said, and she mentioned that she was a veteran. I'm a veteran as well. So when I begin by saying that every year in the United States, numerous college students discover that despite being fully eligible to attend college, they are not ready for most post-secondary. Millions of dollars are spent on remediation course class work that are not credit bearing, but the cost is the same. So I want to conclude this part. It is estimated that nearly half of young Americans are unable to join armed forces. A large contributing factor is poor educational environment or achievement. Nearly one fourth of the students try to join the military but cannot pass the entrance exam. So I want to say that because I want to ask Miss Tish is a lot of young adults coming out of high school, they choose to go in the military to get that college education because they commit to the armed forces for a certain amount of time to achieve their degree. Is that still the case in the military? Do you know
Gotcha.
of?
Gotcha. So, as far as I know, yes, the GI Bill is still a benefit to someone that is enrolling or enlisting, excuse me, in the military branches, right? Um, but I do want to say this, however, comma, once they get you in there and you
Mhm.
see all that's involved in order to pull off the job that you're being asked to do, it is extremely difficult to serve as a member of the armed forces and attend college at the same time.
Right.
It's extremely difficult, extremely challenging. So, for those who do it, they normally have a partner, they have someone that's helping them kind of juggle things. And typically they can only do it, take a class here or there on a part-time basis. Um, I would say majority of the folks that I know and served with, we all completed our degree after serving.
Oh.
Yeah, I know sometimes it can be case, and also I have mentioned that if you are a military veteran with a certain amount of educational experience, when you leave the military and become a veteran, you are qualified to be a substitute teacher. I had an Air Force veteran on my show that was discussing that, but he actually took a course while he was in the Air Force and he had a degree. So that automatically qualified him to be a substitute teacher. And he's
Hmm.
currently a substitute teacher here in the Pitt County School District.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just wanted to see if there's any, I'll try to find more information on that. I know we have two other guests. So now I want to go to another document. We were talking about uh, continuing education. Why is that important? Because you can develop certain information prior to even attending college through continuing education courses. You might
Hmm.
get an insight of things that you're going to be discovering and learning in college. And one thing I'll point out, licensing bodies often require members to complete CE, continuing education courses, to maintain their license. The number of varies by the industry and state. For example, attorneys need to complete continuing education, legal education to maintain compliance with the American Bar Association. And I'm not going to read it all, but there's even a part for North Carolina. It's by the North Carolina Environmental and Education Division.
Nice. Thank you, Dr. Johnson. That's good information because I also my teaching license I have to renew them next year. So Dr. Johnson, I'm counting on you to help research what I need to do. I know I need to call DPI, but I also have to have CEUs in order to keep my license active, which I worked really hard to get them. So I will be keeping mine whether I go back into a classroom or not. So thank you for the information. Dr. Johnson, do you have anything else to add? Because I want to go ahead and bring Tish in, and she may have to continue on the other side. So, do you want to add to that? Um,
I could buy have an awful lot of information, so
mhm.
I would yield my time to Miss Tish.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor. Aren't you such got jokes and provide us with information and being a whole gentleman? I'm gonna tell you what, Dr. Johnson, you on your big one today. I thank you for that though. So Tish, around our Beyond the Classroom, you guys talked about some things that you find out as from going to military life to veteran life to going beyond the classroom and college and career readiness. We got 3 minutes, Tish, to go ahead and get you started to talk about to circle around the college and career readiness. Maybe people want to be entrepreneur, maybe they want to do business. So I want you to go ahead and start your discussion. We'll finish it on the other side.
Gotcha. So, just to be clear, you just want me to kind of expound on if people decide to, instead of going maybe like the traditional route, going to college, going into entrepreneurship is viewing entrepreneurship as an option as well.
Right. And kind of glide into can you continue your discussion and the event? So yeah, so just
I got you.
yeah, there we
Okay.
go. You're picking
So
up what I'm putting down,
I'm
Tish.
picking it up. I'm picking it up now. So absolutely. As you mentioned at the beginning of the show, Tanisha, I'm a mom and I have a young adult that is in the process of figuring things out. And we all take our different paths. Some paths are different from others.
Mhm.
I like to tell folks I took the scenic route after high school. And even knowing what I know now, I wouldn't change a thing because every job, every person that I worked with, I walked away learning some type of lesson,
Mhm.
picking up some type of skill. And it served me well, even in the position that I'm in now.
Mhm.
Entrepreneurship definitely is an option for folks who look like you and I.
Mhm.
Sometimes people with you and with a background similar to mine may not think so, but it is. Um, right here in the city of Greenville, we have different programs, and from time to time, we have pots of money available to support folks who are looking to start a business, or we serve as a connector. We'll
Mhm.
if we don't do it in house, we'll connect you to a resource, typically a free resource in the community,
Awesome.
to get you started.
Awesome. So we're gonna put it in the crock pot is what I used to tell my friends when we talk. Put it in the crock pot right there. Definitely on the other side of this. Want to pick that back up. Because sometimes our little wonderful town doesn't always get kudos, but I want people to know there are, as Dr. Johnson was explaining about your continuing ed programs, as Tish is getting ready to share with us, there are resources right here in our backyard. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive deeper into how today's students and families can be better prepared for life beyond the classroom. So don't go anywhere. We're listening to the Let's Talk K-12 Education Show on Awesome Radio, WECU 107.5 and 1570, where we make education everyone's business. We'll be right back after this short message.
Hello, my name is Tracy, and you're listening to Awesome Radio 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU Radio. Thank you.
From the beginning, this is Ken Ham, founder of the ministry behind Is humans evolved from some kind of like creature? Well, the Bible says no. God created man from the dust of the ground and woman from his side. And consider what Jesus said when he was asked about Adam. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. Notice Jesus says from the beginning of creation. In the
Do you
evolution,
guys see the chat?
billions of years after the beginning of the universe. But
Oh no,
Jesus,
that's fine because we're gonna flow on because remember we're off. We're
yeah,
off a little, but that's fine. You did perfect.
My bad.
No, that was fine. No, we're this is beautiful.
Yeah, look, and then I was reading the text, and then I said, "Uh-oh, she got me. Wait a minute."
Look, you flow right on in there. I said, okay, girl. Yeah, but
I
yeah,
was look, I was all in.
me too. Me too.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. That was
Yes.
good. I'm excited. Excited for all this information. Makes me really excited. I want to thank you guys for joining. We come back, we'll continue with Tish, and then we'll go to you, Miss Wilder. Yeah, sometimes we stay on track, sometimes we get off track, but nonetheless, we say gonna keep on rolling.
I'm gonna
Mhm.
jump straight into midweek. And how much time do I have? Like 2 minutes?
We're back. All right. Welcome back to Awesome Radio, where we're talking about all things educational. Let's talk education. Let's talk K-12 education. And we're going to continue our discussion around college, beyond the classroom, college and career readiness. Before the break, we were talking with Miss Tish Williams, and she talked about the scenic route I know about that. I took the scenic route. And she talked about some resources here, right here in our backyard for the city of Greenville. So, Miss Williams, we're going to pick up and let you pick up from that discussion to talk about that, and we'll go from there. So, if you'll carry, pick it back up and give us that good information about the scenic route and some resources that could be available for our viewers and our listeners.
Thank you, Tanisha. So, the city of Greenville, I work in the business development division, as you mentioned, and we do have a variety of programs geared towards supporting small businesses in the local area. Um, One of those resources that I would like to mention is our annual upcoming Minority Enterprise Development Week. We call it Midweek for short.
Mm-hmm.
And I would certainly like to invite you all to come out and join us during Midweek. We have a variety of activities planned throughout that week. Midweek is going to be observed the week of October the 14th through the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
And this year's theme is Cultivating Communities, Celebrating MWBE Trailblazers.
Mm.
So I would like to, again, welcome you all to partake in Midweek, even if you're not a minority. I want to say that again.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're not a minority, Midweek is for everyone. There is value in diversity
Yes, it is.
in all aspects of life, and especially in small business, right?
Uh-huh. Tish,
Go
I
ahead.
want I want to you always get so excited when you share about that. So we talked about some real world life skills. We talked about soft skills. For our parents that may be attending this, just your regular parents trying to get those ideas out there and maybe trying to transition into doing something else. What do you think some of those soft skills that they can pick up on and model to their K-12 children to help better prepare them? So, what are some soft skills you think would be necessary that can be utilized during the midweek event?
Awesome question. I would say some soft skills that could be utilized during midweek would include networking,
Mm-hmm.
showing up in your the showing up as the best version of you.
Yes.
Uh, Show up with some curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Show up with the intention of everyone that I meet is of value, and I'm of
Mm-hmm.
value as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll walk away with some great things. If nothing else, you may meet a new business owner or find out about a new business, and now you're
Mm-hmm.
curious and you become a customer, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you may be looking to start a business and you don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
Come to midweek.
Yes.
You're going to cross paths with someone like
Mm-hmm.
myself that can
Mm-hmm.
assist you and get you started.
Thank you so
And
very much. Dr.
Mr.
Johnson, I'm
Nita,
sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Nita, I just want to mention something because my doctor's office keeps calling me. He want me to come give some blood work. I only have to go around the corner, so I just want to mention something. Then I'll get prepared to get around there when the show ends. And Tish mentioned something about being an apprentice, so I want to expand on that. And I want our college, our students, and parents to take heed to this. You have to think about, like I said, correspondence courses, continuing
Mhm,
education courses.
mhm,
What do they lead up to? They lead up to things prior to getting to college. You're
mhm.
learning things before you get there, but
It's true.
learning what you can learn and taking that. You could be an intern at a company or corporation while you're in college. So you're learning, receiving a monetary amount
That's true.
while you're still in college or before you get to college. So
That's
think
true.
about being an intern.
Thank you so much. And I think that sometimes we overlook those internship opportunities. And who knows, maybe when what Tish is discussing for the midweek, you never know what these business owners may need. They may be looking for someone to do an apprenticeship. They may be looking have opportunities for people that need an internship. I had an intern, for my company. In fact, we still work together. I have her working in my coaching academic coaching program. So just by
Yeah.
getting to know her, to see her skill set, she is a awesome communicator for her to be a Gen Zer. I mean, I told her she can teach some adults. So yeah, so all that is so great. Thank you, Tish, for for bringing up that information again about an awesome opportunity. I will also be joining midweek for my second time. That be year number 2 for me, and so thank you so much for that. Thank you,
And
Dr. Johnson, for bringing that up as well.
yeah, and before you go to Miss Chris, I just want to share one other thing with that.
Okay.
A prime example of that is a mother and daughter. I believe it was in Louisiana, where COVID struck, and then whatever happened, their daughter decided to go back to college.
Hmm.
Her mom went with her, and now they're both licensed MDs, medical doctors, when they got their degrees. Both the
Yes.
mother and daughter.
Yes, taking to look, capitalizing on those opportunities, and who knows, they may have networked with someone to drop that idea on them. That's thing I was telling Tish. Put it out there because sometimes people don't know just being in the room, the power of being in the room. So thank you, Dr. Johnson, for sharing that. Very inspirational. I hope everything is going well with you. I'll check back with you, but we're going to go ahead and bring Miss Wilder in, and Tish, we may circle back around to you again. So, Miss Wilder, you've been sitting very patiently as we soak up all this good, great information, insight, and wisdom. What would you like to add as it pertains to beyond the classroom, college and career readiness? What would you like to add?
I love the conversation. I love that we're talking about what we can do to help the students. And I love the inclusion of understanding that reaching the parents is just
Mhm.
as important.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, hearing about midweek, like that really sounds like a phenomenal opportunity
Hmm.
and event. And I
Hmm.
really hope that you get even more people than you expected.
Hmm.
But it's really great to want to be a solution to what our students and our parents need. And so I just love everything about what we're talking about so far.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what information would you like to add as it pertains to resources or best tips, hacks as it pertains to college and career readiness for our K-12 students and their families?
Okay, so interesting enough, our nonprofit organization, Families United and Protected, we're actually hosting our second annual Power in the Know Summit. What we noticed, a lot of young adults were transitioning off to college,
Hmm.
adulthood,
Hmm.
but the instances of depression, suicide, pregnancy, addiction,
Hmm.
criminal activity, it was increasing. And a lot of it was, a lot of those students really weren't ready.
Hmm.
And in as much as we say Gen X, Z, and the millennials, like they want to do their own thing, in a lot of ways, they want to please us too.
That's true.
And so
That's true.
with this summit, so this was the summit was and is a solution to or part of a solution to a greater need for our young adults, and that's helping them transition. And what's most important is not just that they're transitioning, but helping their families understand how important it is for it to be a collaborative effort where they're
Yes.
coming together
Hmm.
and the parents are actually supporting their young adults ideas and what they're thinking about and considering for their future. And
Mm.
so with that summit, and I so love it. I just love it. I love it. I
Mm.
get so excited. But I love
Mm.
it because we're bringing, usually when we graduate from high school, there are three things that we basically tell them they're going to do. They're either going to get a job, they're going to college, or they're going to the military. But
Mhm.
what if that's not your student? What if
Mm.
your student is creative? They're artistic. What if
Mhm.
your student, they're really good talking, but they don't want to sit in the classroom?
Mhm.
Your child, I believe everybody has a gift or talent. And
Mhm.
so with this summit, what we do is we bring the family together and we're talking about
Nice.
more post high school options besides just those three. And
Mhm.
we do it where the family is present as well, because what happens is the family hear the same thing that the young adult does. And so When you were talking, Tish, about wanting the family to come and kind of be open, we need them to come to the summit with the open mind, because the more things that they understand are out there for their child, when their child say, I don't want to go to college yet, that
That's
could
true.
be real and true. So they may want to work, but because you understand the need to support that child,
That's
you
true.
may, and then we talked about financial literacy earlier. So, okay, you work, but let's save, let's have a plan. This summit allows the family to be able to get information, see that there's so many more things out there, and really learn how to support and encourage. Because what I've learned is you can unintentionally stifle
That's
your
true.
child's voice,
That's true.
because not because your child can't do it, but because you never did. So
Ooh, ooh.
by being able to be exposed to that information with your child,
Mm-hmm.
you are now the wind beneath their wings, and you're helping them explore what they can do instead of limiting what they can do. And that's what this summit does. It's going to be October 12th. We're at Third Street Academy. It's for from 1 to 3:30 p.m. And with this summit, we're doing something special.
Ooh.
We definitely have headquarters in Dallas, Texas. However, in as much as I love being in the DFW area, there's no way I'm going to pour into the lives of families in the DFW area and not do it where I grew up.
Come on.
So, what we're doing in Greenville for this summit is we have some entrepreneurs on different levels that are going to actually set up booths as well. And
Mm-hmm.
they're actually going to talk to the young adults and their family about
Nice.
what it takes to actually be able to
Nice.
pursue the industry that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually have Tula Fish and Chips and Mr. C's Hot
Ooh.
Spot. Those two food trucks are going to be there, and it's a free event. And so everyone that registers will be able to eat from one of those two trucks for free. We're
Wow.
going to have fun, great information, and hey, I want to give everything I can to Pitt County. That's where I grew up.
Well, Crystal, Miss Wilder, how do they register? So you gave us the date and the time and location. Do you have a link that they can register, or a website that they go to register
Absolutely.
to? Okay, if you let the listeners and the viewers know that, that would be great.
Okay, so it is www.powerintheknow, and that's POWERINTHKNOW.com. And you just register, and it's a free event. It's going to be packed, but it's going to be amazing, and I hope to see you there.
So here we have it. Two awesome, wonderful, free um, community events around family unity, family involvement, family engagement beyond the classroom, college career readiness. Oh my goodness! And you talk about some good food too. Not that that's the only thing that interests me. I'm there to get information too. But yeah, the good food definitely helps. Okay. Oh my gosh, guys, this makes me so excited. You are definitely the AIG group. Dr. Johnson and Tish and Miss Wilder. Thank you for providing all of this insight, providing all of your wisdom around this, and I'm very passionate about it because I don't have time to share my experience as an avid teacher, which is college and career readiness, which is an elective program that Pitt County Schools has, but I ran into and taught a lot of these kind of children. Um, I was an avid kid. I would have been identified as an avid kid had that program been around. And one of the things that I always make it my mission on this show is to provide the information, not for those that know and have, but for those that aren't sure and are I'm not going to say clueless, but do not have that type of information in their repertoire. So we're not only giving you the information, we're giving you the tools, we're giving you the resources, but we're saying, hey, take a step out there. We'll be there if you don't feel like you'll be comfortable in these events, because that was probably some of the reason why I was a non-traditional college kid instead of a traditional college kid, because I wasn't aware of these resources. And no offense, sometimes the students that are the haves and the parents and the families that have that come from that background, get all the information and understand it. And the ones like that, like me, that's why I took the scenic route. But anyway,
Ms.
don't let
Wilder,
people know that.
I
Yes.
mean, Ms. Langley,
Yes, sir.
would you kindly share my information with Ms. Crystal Wilder and Tish, because I want to thank Tish for her service to our nation, but Ms. Wilder I want to talk to in person because she's a counselor. I'm a doctor of clinical release counseling, and speaking of education, my education does not stop. I just recently started doing some research on uh, life skills coaches and what they do. So I want to develop more information on that to help other people. So I know Ms. Wilder probably knows a lot about that.
I certainly will. So, before we get ready to close our show today, Dr. Johnson, how can the audience find you and or more information about about the informational event that you shared today? How can they find you?
You can always email me at my radio show email address, which is Glenn, Glenn Johnson show at gmail.com. And I don't mind if anybody calls me directly on my cell phone, which is 252 902 9222. So
Thank you.
contact me either way. I would love to collaborate with you and share information with you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Miss Williams, Tish Williams, how can the audience find you and or more information about the information or event that you shared today?
Yes. So, in order to, if anyone is interested in attending a midweek event, you would go to 2024 midweek.eventbrite.com, and all of the events, all of the activities are listed there. You can sign up and register. Every event is open to the public and free except for Taste Fest. Taste Fest is $10 per ticket.
Okay. Thank you,
And
Miss
then
Williams.
to contact us here at the city, you can shoot us an email at businessdevelopment@greenvillenc.gov.
Thank you, Miss Williams. And Miss Wilder, how can the audience find you and get more information about what you shared today or the event that you shared today?
Okay, so they can find the event at www.powerintheknow.com. And you can find me on any social media platform. I am Crystal Wilder _. And you can also find me on my own website. I am Crystal Wilder. And also, I just would be remiss if I did not thank the sponsors that are actually sponsoring the Power in the Know Summit, Pieces of Care Solutions, and Kiffany Cloche. I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. And we thank them too. So remember, every child is unique. Find what works best for your family and create a supportive learning environment and bridge the gap from home to school. As my guests today, I want to thank them again, Dr. Johnson, Miss Tish Williams, and Miss Crystal Wilder for helping with that. Again, you can find this information on Facebook, Awesome Radio 107.5 FM and 1570 AM WECU. You can find us on YouTube at Awesome Radio WECU. And remember, if you have ideas for topics or brain teasers, you can email us at Let's Talk K12Education at gmail.com. This is Tonitia Langley, your education enthusiast, thought leader, and show host for Let's Talk K12 Education every Tuesday from 2 to 3 p.m. Thank you for tuning in today on Awesome Radio WECU. 107.5 FM and 1570 AM. And again, I want to thank my guests today as we talked about college beyond the classroom, college and career readiness. You can listen, you found it right here on Let's Talk K-12 Education. And again, you want to find out some more. Find out more things, all things education, K-12 education. Come on every Tuesday from 2 to 3 p.m. And again, thank you, Dr. Glenn Johnson. Thank you, Tish Williams. And thank you, Crystal Wilder, for coming on and having some fun with me today on Let's Talk K-12 Education. And again, I'm your education enthusiast, thought leader, show host for Let's Talk K-12 Education every Tuesday from 2 to 3. Thank you for tuning in today on Awesome Radio, WECU 107.5 FM and 1570 AM. See you next Tuesday right here, same station, same place. Thank
God
you,
bless everybody.
guys. Thank you, guests.
God bless
Thank
you.
you.